Chaudhary and will be co-chaired by Dr. D.D. Shivagan. Dr. K.P. Chaudhary is former Chief Scientist, CSIR NPL, presently working as the Director of Maharaja Surajmal Institute of Technology, New Delhi. And Dr. D.D. Shivagan is Senior Principal Scientist and Head of Temperature and Humidity Metrology Section. Sir, I request you both to please proceed for the session.
On to all, the back cross again, micro cross. Cross First, please. कर दिए सर.
Good afternoon. Today we have the post-lunch session, and in this post-lunch session, we have 4 talks, 30 talks, and the total time given to individual, that is 25 minutes plus minus 5 minutes. Total 30 minutes. So I request all the speakers to please maintain the time schedule so that we can finish it on time. So the first talk is from the Taiwan. Chiang. So I request Dr. Chiang for this presentation, and I again request you, please maintain the time of 25 minutes plus minus 5 minutes. We will ring the bell as soon as the time is over. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. C.L. Chiang. He is working as a system engineer in flow measurement laboratory in Center for Measurement Standards of Industrial Technology, Research Institute in Taiwan. He has worked extensively for the establishment of primary standard of low pressure system in IRI, having capability of 2 ml per minute and 40 liter per minute with uncertainty less than 0.08%. So we invite you, Dr. Chiang, for the talk.
Okay, thank you, Chair, and thank you, Dr. Joshua. Invite my group to join this conference. In the beginning, my division director, Dr. Shao, is the speaker, but he has another top-down work in this period. Therefore, I request to continue this work. I'm training and a manager of Flow Lab of CMS E3. And the topic of today is acoustic artificial intelligence measurement for water pipeline leakage and meter performance testing. It's a brief talk about what kind of role of national measurement lab could be in water resource management. And this figure is from World Resource Institute. We can see that there are 1/3 of the world's people, more than 22 billion, live in areas of water scarcity. The USA Vice President, Ms. Harris, has said that water resource is important in the future more than oil. May that word due to describe the water resource. The water resource is a problem, not only a environment risk, also but also a social risk. As above saying, water resource management is a worldwide challenge. There are 4 perspectives to be considered: institutional framework, infrastructure, energy, and environmental protection. And in our experience, infrastructure and information and how to use a system management are critical issue in the future. Therefore, how to use IoT technology in water management is a study topic. In tap water system, we can separate to three parts: production drinking water, and distribution drinking water, and wastewater treatment. In the whole process, the information could come from level gauge, flow meter, and pressure sensor and other sensors. In CMSE3 research, are mainly focused in distribution area to help our government and water company to management efficiently. And typical losses in tap water supply system include physical losses and commercial losses. And we can see that faulty and inaccurate meters and pipe leakage and bursts are the main problem. And in the distribution, and therefore, how National Measurement Lab can help in legal metrology. A smart water meter is a key in precision layer of IoT system. How to make sure the performance of smart water meter not only mechanical but also electronic performance should be confirmed, so that the first part of our study is follow OIML 49 standard to develop a real flow performance test system. The system should be combined different electronic test system, environmental control system, and flow system to do the test. And it's a challenge. And we can see that in OIML 49 2013, a smart water meter should be done the performance test item as the table showing. For example, there are 8 mechanical test items and 2 to 3 environmental test items, and at least 11 electronic test items should be done. And there are our study results for the dry heat and damp heat cycle. We constructed a programmer temperature and humidity chamber, and that could combine with our flow system to do the test as standard required. And in power voltage variation tests include AC and DC power. As the figure showing, a water meter, the maximum DC voltage is in 3.6 volt. And when DC voltage down to 2.8 to 2.6 voltage, the maximum possible error may large than 2% and cannot pass the required. And in the short short-time power reduction and bursts test. We used a multi-functional testing equipment coupled with our flow system to do the test. And we can see the results show that some meter will fault when bursts happen in the power line or the signal line. Also, we doing a encoding chamber for ESD, ICE, and CS tests. And we found that ESD and ICE test will affect the meter measurement. And also in this test, we found that system ground is very important issue to protect our test system. And we also follow the standard doing the static mechanical field test. And for the underground pipeline leakage detection, acoustic technology coupled with database well study in CMS E-tree is related to prescription layer and network layer of the IoT system. For the leakage detection and repress, as we know that time is everything. There are three stage: awareness, location, and repair. When a pipe burst happened, it's easy to find a location and repair. Most 1 or 2 days, we can fix the problem. But if the leakage is more and happen in the underground pipeline, it's very difficult to find. Normally, we should spend a lot of time, more than several months to year, and it will cause a big problem as land subsidence. Therefore, from 2021, and we start a project study how to use acoustic technology coupled with big data established to do the underground pipe leak detection. The goal of the project is try to find a way to solve the disadvantage of a real situation like low efficiency, long-term personal training, and small detection range. And there are two studies in this project. In the short term, we try to build a database to write the personal check efficiently. And in the meantime, we try to use our acoustic sensor attached in any fixed item in the pipe network, such as fire hydrant, to monitor the pipe safety. And our acoustic leak detection system include hardware and software development. The hardware system mainly include a sensor device and a processing device to catch the sound difference in different type pipe. In the first stage, the fire hydrant is the application target. And this is the figure in our pretest setting in my lab. And the software include database and some regression principle and development. We also apply for a patent for our device. And then we do the real field test. The cam arm system, the longest detection now is 400 to 500 meter, same as fire hydrant setting in Taiwan. And there are 6 areas in Taiwan. That distribution in Daya, Qingshui, Shengang, and Dajia have done the measurement. And there are 6 different leakage points have been found. And we have provided this information to the water company to follow, check, and replace. And for the handheld device, the accuracy based on the database for our device could reach 90% compared to the senior test engineer, and could save at least 3 hours of inspection time compared with the current situation. And in the future, we still have a lot of work need to do. Big data training and system optimize, and are the 2 main work need to do that to let the signal more easy get without environment influence, and detection position more widely, not just at a city and at a suitable condition. And the conclusion is water resource is an important issue for most countries in the future. And flow measurement technology could be wide using in water resource management. And IoT system and big data are useful to help to improve water resource management. And CMS each year has established the electronic, also called smart water meter performance test with OIML 49 standard. And underground pipe leakage detection method should be developed to less water resource losses. Okay, thank you. That is my presentation.
Kindly completing the talk. I will invite some questions from the audience. This one is your field.
My brother. Hello.
Hello?
Dr. Chiang.
Hey, yes.
So good afternoon. Yes, I'm on India.
Good afternoon.
So, what is the system you are using for this, particularly testing very low flow of this leakage? What system you are using?
Sorry. Could you please slowly because some noise. Yeah.
part system you are exactly in a questionnaire system for leakage detection? What exactly you are doing?
You mean what kind of system?
Yes.
Yes, we develop acoustic ultrasonic. Oh, sorry. Maybe I can back to. Yes, we develop acoustic leak detection system, and we use the microphone came on in this fire hydrant, and detection the sound different when the pipe have the leakage, like this picture, and we will attach the sensor in the different fire hydrant, and we will detection the normal situation, and when the pipe have the leakage, the sound will different.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any question? Audience? Dr. Chan, I would like to ask you one question. We are using IoT devices and the big data analytics. So what is the real difference between this type of the measurements and the real world measurements in terms of the efficiency?
Sorry, could you please again? Sorry, could you
Like,
please again?
I'm repeating my question again. You are using IoT and big data analytics in your system,
Yes.
and you are getting some, I think, low efficiency. So what is the difference in the efficiency when you are using the real field testing?
And we in this system we try to build a database, and we will do the real test. And as you know that if we want to do the IoT and to replace, how to say that in the beginning, in the right now, the leakage detection is by the human, and in the future we hope that the sensor could help the human to do the detection, because the human detection should be use more time, and each day they just can do a short distance. And if we can use the IoT to help them, and we can locate, like this picture, we can narrow down the area, and then let the person to do the efficiently detection, and then we can quickly to find the where is the pipe leak, and then replace.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Chan.
Thank you.
And the next invited talk is Dr. Alok Jain. And my colleague, he will use this biodata.
Hello. It's my pleasure to introduce Mr. Alok Jain to this audience. Alok Jain is the director and head training and capacity building cell at the Quality Council of India. He has a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering and masters of technology in industrial engineering from Aligarh Muslim University. With over 25 years of experience in industries and here at QCI, Mr. Jain has provided trainings to various officials from countries such as Iran, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Myanmar, etc. He is involved in evaluation and accreditation bodies of Philippines, Korea, Japan, USA. And there are numerous countries where he has done the accreditations. As team member and as a team leader on behalf of APAC and ILAB and IAA. So we invite you for delivering your thematic talk, sir.
Yeah, Dr. Alok, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You will be given 30 minutes, including the questions and answers. And I believe that your talk will be very, very beneficial to the audience. So please.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, each one of you. Good to see you, Dr. KP Chaudhary, after a long time. Dr. Chaudhary is our mentor, our guru, our teacher, and we learned a lot from him. And very, very nice, my pleasure to see you again, sir, after a long time. So my topic of talk today, I will stick to the timing as mentioned by Dr. Chaudhary. So my topic of talk today is on the role of conformity assessment in facilitating trade and sustenance. So my topic, my whole presentation is divided into 5 parts. I will touch upon Quality Council of India. What does it do and what are the various boards of Quality Council of India? Then I will talk about the introduction and the conformity assessment activities, followed by the role of conformity assessment bodies. And then I will summarize my presentation with a conclusion. So I'm sure many of you must be knowing what Quality Council of India is. Quality Council of India is an autonomous body under Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce, and it comes under Ministry of Commerce and Industries. And when we talk about Quality Council of India, basically our mandate is to provide accreditation framework in the country and spreading the quality movement in our country. So when we talk about Quality Council of India, we have various boards under it. So one of the board, I'm sure most of you must be knowing, is NABL, which is providing accreditation to testing and calibration laboratories. Then we have NABCB, providing accreditation to certification bodies, inspection bodies. NABH is for the accreditation of hospital and healthcare providers. NABET is in the field of education and training. And NBQP is a board primarily for the promotion of quality. So apart from these 5 boards, we have various divisions under it: PPID, CHAD, PAD, TCB division, which are generally supporting the government in various schemes. So this is the structure of Quality Council of India. So coming to the topic of conformity assessment. So this is a fact that everyone on this earth, they want to live a happy life. They want a safe home. They want clean drinking water. Everyone, including me, including everyone. Free flow of trade, efficient energy, safer food, better health and social care. So everybody who is living on this earth, they want a happier life. But when we talk about trade, let us take some examples. So when we talk about trade, a lot of questions which come to our mind, like, is the trade freely flowing? Are there technical barriers to trade? When we talk about the regulation standards, which vary from country to country, are they really technical barriers for doing the either in the domestic market or in the export opportunities? Similarly, whether the product and service are flowing freely across the border or not. When we talk about food and water, a number of questions come to our mind. Is our food and water safe? Does it have toxins? Does it have contaminants? Is it free from pollutants? Is it free from pathogens? Can we trust the labeling? Say somebody is claiming that this is the protein, this is vegetarian, this is the carbohydrates the food is having. Can we trust upon that labeling? Is food authentic? What we are consuming, what we think we are consuming, is it really authentic? Whatever we are thinking. Are the ingredients what they say on the label or on the they claim in the advertisement, are they authentic? So number of questions comes to our mind, and not only about the labeling and the ultimately quality of the food. What is the process involved in the food? Whether there was a fair trade, whether they have taken care of the environment, animal welfare, provenance, number of questions. Similarly, when we talk about the energy, an integral part of everybody's life, we always think about whether the energy which we are using is safe. Quality and quantity of fuel, again, a big question. Everybody is today driving a car or the two-wheeler, and can we trust upon the quality of the fuel? Can we depend upon the use of the renewable energy? Is it value for the money? Is it effective? Are the claims made by the manufacturers really, we can are trustworthy? Can we trust energy efficiency claim by many industries? Like we talk about the 5-star AC, 5-star lighting, 5-star refrigerator. Are they really energy efficient? Similarly, when we talk about health and social care, very, very important part of our life, number of questions. Is the provision of health and social care safe for patient as well as staff of the hospital? How accurate the results are? Are there measures in place to prevent misdiagnostics? Are there complaints? Are the complaints taken seriously? Is high quality cost effective care is achievable? So number of questions comes to our mind. So I have taken only few examples about the trade, about health, about energy, about food, water, but in any domain. So what is the answer? The answer lies with the conformity assessment activity. So when we talk about the conformity assessment activities, it supports, it helps us in answering a number of questions which come to our mind in the various domain of our life. So what are the we will talk about what conformity assessment is, what is conformity assessment bodies, and then we will try to find out what are the role they play in giving us an assurance that whatever we are consuming, whatever we are doing, trade or maybe anything we are doing, we can trust upon those. So what is a conformity assessment body? As we all know, I'm sure in this admit, everybody must be knowing there are 3 pillars of quality infrastructure. Whenever we talk about the quality infrastructure, we talk about the 3 pillars: metrology, standardization, and conformity assessment activity. And these 3 pillars, again, everybody knows they are very helpful to address the business concerns. Like when we talk about the trade, quality, profitability, manufacturing, distribution, purchase, metrology, standardization, conformity assessment activities play an important role. It's not only about the business; it's about the societal concerns as well. So whenever a government is making any policy for the health, for safety, for environment, for economic well-being, fair trade, consumer protection, these 3 pillars of quality infrastructure plays a very, very important role. So I will not touch upon the metrology and standardization today because my topic of talk is on the conformity assessment activities. So let us try to understand what is a conformity assessment activity, and then I will speak about the role of conformity assessment activities in giving us an assurance. So conformity assessment activities is nothing but when we talk about conformity assessment body activities, basically we are talking about testing activities, calibration activities, inspection activities, certification of management system, personal certification, product certification, process, service, PT providers, reference material producers, validation, verification. These are the activities which we call it as a conformity assessment activity. Okay. And one step above this is the conformity assessment body. What is a conformity assessment body? Is an organization, is an entity or body that perform the conformity assessment activity. Say, for example, somebody is performing the testing activity, somebody is doing the calibration, somebody is doing product certification, somebody is doing the personal certification. So these bodies are called the conformity assessment body. And one step above is the accreditation. What is the accreditation? Accreditation is the third-party attestation for the formal demonstration of the competence of a conformity assessment activity. Suppose I am performing, say, for example, personal certification, then I will get the accreditation, and by virtue of getting that accreditation, my competence is demonstrated. My results will be acceptable worldwide because it's a third-party attestation. So these are the definitions of the conformity assessment activities. What is a body? What is accreditation? Okay, so this is a structure. Like I spoke about this in the last slide. On the bottom part, we have, when we talk about, just 1 minute, let me take the pointer from here. On the bottom part, we are talking about the product and services. And these product and services are verified for their conformance by the conformity assessment bodies. And conformity assessment bodies are getting the accreditation, which is a third-party attestation by the accreditation board. Like in India, we are familiar that NABL and NABCB together are the part of the international system of accreditation. And there are some international forum like International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation, ILAC and ILAC. So these are the various bodies. Like we have on the top ILAC, which is responsible for laboratory and the inspection bodies, IAF for the product certification bodies, management system certification bodies, the personal certification bodies. These are the two international organizations. And below that, we have various regional cooperation because world is very huge. So suppose there is an accreditation body, there is a laboratory, there is a inspection body in India that is being assessed by the accreditation body of India, and accreditation body, either NABL or NABCB, they are the part of the regional cooperation. Like we fall under Asia Pacific region, so we are the part of the APEC, and then APEC is evaluated by the International Laboratory Accreditation Corporation. So hierarchy is like this: on the top we have ILAC and IAS, then on the regional level we have various regional corporations. Below that we have accreditation bodies, and in the bottom we have the conformity assessment bodies, which are catering the general public, or maybe in trade, food, water, in every domain they are providing the conformity assessment activity. So like this is the MRA status of ILAC. ILAC, as I told you, is working in the field of testing laboratories, calibration, inspection bodies, PT providers and all. So there are 102 signatories. I took it from the website only. And when we talk about the ILAC framework, these are the conformity assessment bodies: testing, calibration, inspection, PT, and reference material producer. But when we talk about IAF, this is a snapshot of IAF MLA, and the conformity assessment bodies are either the product certification bodies, management system certification bodies, personal certifications, and validation and verification. So these are the various conformity assessment bodies which fall under the ambit of either ILAC or IAF, depending upon the domain of their work. Then what are the roles? We have now understood what is the conformity assessment bodies. We have spoken about testing, calibration, medical, and we spoke about the personal certification, inspection bodies, management system certification. What are the roles they are playing? So important role, what do they play is they evaluate against the specific requirements. So the basic mandate of a conformity assessment body is to evaluate the product, service, sample, system against some specified requirements. When we talk about a testing laboratory, they are checking some product against some specification. When we talk about 9001 certification, basically we are evaluating the system against 9001 certification. When we are doing the inspection, that means we are checking the samples against some specification. So that is the kind of role they are playing. The important role, as I mentioned, is the evaluation against the specified requirements. Then conformity assessment checks that products are fit and safe for consumption against a standard. So we know that every product is having a standard. There is a code of practice or there is a regulatory requirement. The role of conformity assessment is to check whether the product is meeting those standards, those code of practices, those regulatory requirements, and to give a statement that okay, the product is safe and fit for the consumption. That gives everyone an assurance that now we can consume the product, we can eat it, we can drink it, we can use it, we can give it to our kids, everything. Then conformity assessment also provide a means for preventing unsafe, unhealthy, and environmentally harmful products. So when we are talking about the compliances, we are talking about the product certification, we are talking about the inspection. So the conformity assessment activity plays a very, very important role. Whenever during the conformity assessment activity, when it is found that the product is unsafe, unhealthy, or environmentally unhealthy, harmful, then they give us an alarm, and they stop us to enter those products into the market. So that's the important role conformity assessment activities play. Then regulators are very, very important. There are a lot of regulators, as we all know. When we talk about food, we have FSSAI. When we talk about export of agriculture products, we have APIDA, we have BIS, we have BE. So in every domain, we have the regulators. So regulators rely more. They are making the policies because they are the ones who are mandated to make the policies in their domain. So they set the overall policy requirements, and they rely on laboratories, they rely on inspection bodies, they rely on certification bodies to check the compliance. Whenever there is a regulation by BEE that every home appliances has to be 5-star marking. Now the important point is who will verify whether this is a 5-star, 3-star, 2-star AC. This is the role the testing laboratory or the inspection body plays. So regulator, whenever they make their policy, they always rely upon the conformity assessment activity. Healthcare, similarly, there is a very famous standard ISO 15189, which is meant for the medical laboratories. And you know, we all know that last 2-3 years, we all were facing a pandemic of COVID-19. And there were a lot of challenges when we talk about the period March 2020, when COVID, 19 came into our life, I will say. Then, you know, what had happened? The major challenge in front of anybody was how to get it tested. There was no testing facilities available, not only in India, but even in the developed country as well. Then even if some laboratory claims that, okay, we can do the COVID-19 testing, can we rely upon their results? There was a big question mark in front of the government. Then they said, the regulator is ICMR. They said, if a laboratory is accredited as per ISO 15189, so that will give us an assurance that, okay, they have the competence. And once they get the accreditation as per ISO 15189, the laboratory can be recognized for further testing of COVID for the general public. And based on that accreditation, ICMR was giving the go-ahead for the laboratories to serve the public. And it happened across the globe. I mean, in all countries it happened, because there was a big challenge in front of the government. How to assess the competence? How to say that, okay, this laboratory is really doing the right test of corona? So they took the help of the testing laboratories, again the conformity assessment activity. Then again, when we talk about the fuel, I spoke about the fuel. A lot of issues are there with the fuel. We are using it in our vehicle, in many things, you know, in our kitchen, everywhere we are using the fuel. In generating the electricity, everywhere we are using the fuel. And again, a big question mark, whether the fuel is really, when we talk about the environment, their physical test, their component, it's lot of things are there. So again, a laboratory play a very, very important role when we talk about the testing of the fuel, with whether the fuel is meeting the specifications or not. So what I mean to say is, again, if we talk about the energy supply chain, right from the appropriate procedure, suppose there is a company, what procedure they are having, what process they are following, everything is done by the conformity assessment activity. So even in the building sector, when we talk about the building construction sector, we talk about the smarter building, cleaner environment, safer constructions. Everybody conformity assessment activities is playing a role. We are talking about the safe meeting, specifications, everything. Everywhere. So what is the role of conformity assessment bodies? Now I come into that part. The last slide of role of conformity assessment bodies. When we talk about the TBT agreement, which is the World Trade Organization WTO TBT agreement, even that agreement, WTO TBT agreement, mentions in article number 6 that confidence in the continued reliability of their conformity assessment result through accreditation. So they have also, WTO has also understood the importance of conformity assessment bodies in the fair trade. And in Article 6, they have mentioned about the conformity assessment result. They mentioned about the accreditation. So that is the importance of conformity assessment activities when we talk about the trade. Now, I just want to summarize what I have told just now. Conformity assessment activities, whether we talk about testing, whether we talk about the validation, declaration of conformity assessment, it helps in protecting people and the environment. Some of the key testing and certification services include quality and safety control. When we talk about the system as per 9,000, 14,000, 18,000, that there we are talking about the environment, safety, occupational health and safety, many. So it is done by the certifications, by the conformity assessment bodies. And you know, what is the size of conformity assessment bodies today? I have taken it from one website, very authentic website. There is an employment of a workforce of approximately 1 million employees in 160 countries. And the annual sales is of about $200 billion. That is the kind of conformity assessment activities which are taking place in this world. And now we can see the type of manpower engaged, type of sales, annual sales, how big it is and how important it is. And when we talk about the third party, it is a higher level of compliances. It helps the government in achieving and improving the efficiencies. And finally, concluding by saying that this is a single worldwide program. There is a single worldwide program when we talk about ILAC and IAF. So whether we are talking about the USA, Japan, Korea, Africa, India, Bangladesh, whatever country we name, everywhere conformity assessment activities are controlled under the umbrella of ILAC and IAF. So the government and regulators, they rely upon these organizations. There are a lot of case studies which are available on this website, how the various countries, various government regulators, they have, they took the help of the conformity assessment activities in framing their policies. And the whole concept of having this framework is testing, inspected or certified once has to be accepted. So last slide, the conformity assessment activities on the bodies, the kind of manpower, kind of business they are having, and the kind of domain they are covering, the kind of support they are providing to government and regulators. They play a very, very important role. When we talk about the government, it facilitates in trade. They stop the technical barrier to trade. They help in breaking the technical barrier to trade. It is an efficient enforcement and monitoring tool. When we talk about the business, there is a greater acceptance of the product and service. Suppose today we are testing one product against some specification, we are sending it to USA, Japan, Korea. Then because of that conformity assessment result, because of that test result, inspection result, the product is accepted worldwide. It avoids cost associated with the repeat conformity assessment activities, informed procurement. When we talk about the consumer, general consumer like me and you, we get a confidence in the goods and services. It minimizes the product failure on cost. Today we buy a brand equipment, the branded equipment, because of the fact we know it that they are meeting some specification. It is safe, it is fit for the consumption. The role of conformity assessment is very, very important in facilitating both the trade and sustainability. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much for listening me patiently. If you have any questions, most welcome.
And it was a very illuminating talk, giving the complete detail of the QC and the role of the conformity assessment and the quality system. And you have briefly told everybody, and when there are so many questions that that arises, because when this QCI system or NEBL system, they have some legal part in this. If suppose somebody is not like the conformity assessment regarding the preventing the healthcare system, unhealthy foods, like that. If they are not adopting that thing, then do you have some like the role to stop it? Some legal action against all these consumers?
Sir, can I respond to that? Should I? Okay. See, sir, we as accreditation worldwide is not meant for taking the legal action. It's a voluntary program, and our role is to judge the competence for somebody, whether it is for the government regulator or for the common public. The role of taking the action lies with the government or the regulator. Suppose there is a regulator, suppose there is CPCB, say for example, and if a testing laboratory is doing the testing of the environment, of the pollutants, and results are failed, then the action is to be taken by CPC, not by NABL or NABC. And this is the kind of system we are having worldwide. It's a voluntary scheme supporting the government and the regulator. So we as such cannot take any legal action. The government and regulators have to take the legal action.
Any other question in the audience, please? Any question? So if there is no question, then I thank you very much for this illuminating talk, and really believe that because of this. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Next talk is Dr. B.S. Satyanarayan. So I invite him. And again, I will repeat that the time is 30 minutes maximum, including the questions. So I request you please to keep the time in mind.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am sure after a heavy lunch, and also you have all been listening since last few days, and from workshop to conference, you already have an overload of information to be heard. And I don't think I'm going to share anything exciting new or interesting.
Just for the introduction.
Please.
Good afternoon, sir. It's my great pleasure to introduce Professor B.S. Satyanarayan to this others gathering. So he is Vice Chancellor at C.V. Raman Global University in Bhubaneswar. He holds a PhD in Electrical Engineering first of its kind in the area of vacuum nanoelectronics, Cambridge University, UK. His experience include 34 years of experience working in India, UK, Japan, and with other international partners in US, EU, and UK, Germany, Russia, Singapore, so many countries, with other NGOs as well. So he has published over 175 papers in journals and conference proceedings, and delivered over 300 invited talks, and contributed the papers. So he holds 4 patents and filed another 10 patents and guiding 6 PhD students now. So we invite you, sir, for delivering the invited talk.
Thank you very much for the kind invitation. I would like to thank Professor Sanjay Yadav and Professor Jaiswal for giving me an opportunity to come and share some of our experiences on working with metrology as a university and working in startup industries. So I think when the whole country is today looking at Atmanirbharta, I mean, and Indian manufacturing, make in India, without metrology, nothing can exist. Because we are looking at standards, we are looking at exporting products globally, and we are looking at quality. And therefore, I think metrology is a key requirement. And as already said in the morning by Professor, see, unfortunately, we don't teach it. We don't practice it, and no equipments are bought in India. Everything is imported. Even a simple multimeter. I know people from Fluke are here. You get quality multimeters only when they are imported, whether it's Fluke or Keithley or Agilent or whatever. You don't even get quality multimeters here. And we are talking of semiconductor industry, defense industry. And therefore, it's very critical that we should understand we need to build in-house capability. I just want to take the next few minutes. Therefore, I'll not talk anything of science and technology, but say that how in the last 10 to 12 years alone, in small private institutions, within the budget available, within the people available, how do we leverage people's experience, competence to create infrastructure which can not only deliver existing requirement, but equally facilitate next generation disruptive technology, whether it's aerospace, agriculture, apparels, automation, animation, whatever you want to talk of. I mean, vacuum nanoelectronics, I mean, information communication, or even irrigation agriculture management. So that's what will be my presentation. So I think I'll be a bit faster because I always feel very excited. The opportunity is huge. And share some of our experience. And so I apologize if I'm very fast, but I'll try to make sure I finish within the time given to me. As usual, always technology makes us look like idiots, so I'm not able to move the slide. Yeah. Okay, so even as we are setting up the slide, I just want to have a brief overview. I come from a small new university. We are a 2-year-old university. We were earlier an engineering college for about 10 plus years, and now we have graduated to a university. And the whole university is looking at how do we create next generation technology? How do we educate students in terms of skills and knowledge, bring knowledge and skill together? For the last, 75 years, our education has been education for clerks, just to know information, not to do. Now we have to know, to do, to understand, and then create new to solve problems or create new solutions. And therefore, this calls manually. Yeah, fine. So we need to, and therefore the education has to be different. The new education policy. So whatever, therefore I just want to say something about our institute just for a minute and say how the education policy is an opportunity, not just for us, but equally for R&D institutes, academics, because it offers better and flexible opportunity for collaboration. And then say, why are we seriously talking about metrology and talking about Indian market in this context, and then say something about what we have done. And so I'll not go into all of this vision, but key is that we want to create innovative leaders who understand what they study. We are, as I said, a new university. We have currently branches in agriculture, engineering, mathematical, physical sciences, management, hospitality, tourism, other domains of knowledge will happen soon. But what I want to clearly say is that for the benefit of anybody interested, because the CSIR University also exists. So we have created a new model of education where we think experiential learning has to be the basis. 75 to 80% of process is experiential learning and through hands-on activity, and so that creates the joy of learning rather than being bored with simply unlimited information. And again, especially with the focus on learner-centric education to learn on their own pace, because the definition of 21st century education is to ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. And to enable that, we have created about 25 centers in line with world skills as defined by World Economic Forum as to what is needed in the future. We don't even know. If we are in the book of world, technology that is needed is not clear. But the skills that are needed from, I mean, say, whether it is say helping a hand for old people to, I mean, say my high performance computing analytics. We know about 50 odd skills have been defined. We have created 25 centers, partly created by ourselves, partly in collaboration with industry. And these 25 centers cumulatively can enable manufacturing any product process system from concept to design to implementation and testing. And we are happy to say that for whatever we have created this year at the national skills, we won about 29 of the 254 national medals. Or Odisha was the #1 state with 51, and so maybe we won more than 60% of Odisha's medal. But the key point is making sure education is no more मतलब रखने की बात नहीं है, हाथ में काम करना है, समझना है, सीखना है. It is truly making learning a joy, and I'll not go into all of this, but to say that, as we said, everything is experiential learning. And we all know, I mean, I don't mind using this slide every time, wherever I go, and I'm sure every one of you know, if you go to the World Economic Forum, you look at it. For over the last 2000 years, except for about 250 years, India has been a leader in economy, knowledge, technology, all of that. But then somewhere we have lost. So once again, there's an opportunity. And in that context, you see every emerging domain is knowledge enabled, and whether it's service and equally new manufacturing technology. And that knowledge, if you have to deliver quality, therefore we need to know how to measure. And therefore metrology is critical. And if industries are going to manufacture, they have to export. They need to be certified and verified. So testing, inspection, and certification is a huge industry. We are not even talking about it. So between these two, I mean, metrology and testing information, say inspection certification, it's about, depending on whose prediction you go, anything from 500 billion to $1 trillion market. And for that, the instrumentation has to be enabled. Again, depending on which prediction you go, anything from 25 to $30 billion is just the instrumentation. And for that to happen, if we do not know how to measure, how to calibrate, how to measure accurately, as in today we have even left away in things like, errors and measurement itself is not taught even in instrumentation course or any, engineering program or science program. And the key point again is every domain of manufacturing, you will see that India is in a sweet spot, whether it is in technology growth, whether it is by revenue generation, whether it is more people getting engaged in industry. In every aspect, India is in a sweet spot. For all of this to happen, education, industry, R&D has to come together to develop next generation technology. And education alone is a 10 trillion industry. So, and if you look at even R&D, like say last month, we had this Japanese report coming out, which shows that how Japan is coming down, but somewhere for the first time, India also figures in the R&D in the top 10. But there are many emerging areas where I think we are also reasonably doing well in terms of artificial intelligence, machine learning. The age of digitization is very critical, or equally environment and sustainability. Again, India is doing very well. I'll not go into all of that. But the key point is R&D is a key requirement. To do R&D, I think we need to be very sure we actually engage in developing our own metrology, because most of the institutions don't do research because equipments are very expensive. And even if you buy an equipment, if it goes out of order, you cannot repair it. And therefore, it's very critical that we make our own. Many leading instrumentation companies across the globe have come out of university. Whereas here, even the most advanced equipment, everything, as I said, even from the multimeter to the pin is still imported. Quality pin, it is not sharp if you buy. So, and again, as I said, among the future market, APEC, the Asia Pacific region is expected to be key, and India in the next, within the 8 to 10 days, it is expected to be #2 in metrology, instrumentation related market. But that will only happen if all of us work together, right from education to developing instrumentation to again working with industry, so that quality production process, especially in the days of digitization and automation, all of this happen together. So I think, as I said, I just want to therefore just show a few examples of what we have done or how we have worked with industry. And again, in line with, as the President, Prime Minister recently said during our Independence Day speech, he said, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan, Jai Vigyan, and Jai Anusandhan. And especially he said, nation developed, a nation bereft of slave mentality. That is where getting out of our by-hearting education of the clerks to truly knowledge education is needed. And there again, I think it's a huge opportunity for us. And it's like saying, leveraging the new education policy, science and technology, innovation policy, and needs of sustainable development to circular economy, and say that can we now truly work bottom up create our own product process solution, and anything that we do, we need to measure. And therefore, again, why we should be talking about academic industry collaboration and developing, and some examples of positive outcome with low inputs is what I want to share. And for doing that, I say the innovation is a combination of desirability, effective feasibility, the device to do innovation. I want to call it as desirability, effective feasibility, viability, inclusivity, and sustainability. So it cannot happen only in some NPL or some DAE lab, but it has to happen in every lab, every startup, every MSME. Only then it can truly happen. And I believe it is feasible. That's what we want to showcase in the. So, for example, we are a new university. We have about 20 companies incubated in our campus, both on the TBI, Technology Business Incubation, DST, and also under the NITI Aayog. For example, Bonvi is a drone making company, and this is a drone which is can carry easily up to 50 kilograms and travel 40 kilometers and even up to 30,000 feet. I mean, even on mountainous plains, it can go across the terrain. So it is like saying, how do you leverage from image processing, signal processing, GIS, remote sensing data to, sensor-based data, and leverage all of them to cumulatively go follow the terrain rather than simply go 30,000 feet, use all your fuel, and then you can't go any further. So similarly, we do from agriculture to biotechnology, all sorts of things. But the key is, how do we work? And these are student experiments leading to next generation products from their first and second year assignment activity and experiential learning. All these are outcomes of student-based activity, which has led to about 1,000 crores of infrastructure created cumulatively, and MSME alone have been able to generate 50 to 100 crores depending on how you calculate. And just come on to this. And similarly, we worked with many companies and delivered about $100 million worth of outcomes for them. Like small, I'll not go into too much because there is no time. Already I finished 11 minutes. So these are instrumentation. For example, student experiments on working on a electrical mobility system led to the development of a second life battery company, and also waste-free processing. The second life battery today can deliver at half the cost as good as a conventional battery. And now they have got 25 crores of grant. It's a 2-year company here in Noida. And say student activities led to, these are slightly last 10 year older activity for India's first Pico satellite, a solar car which ran a 30,000 kilometer, 3,000 kilometer rally in Australia, but also it had all the activities of even a driverless car, and many process and material equipments and the characterization tools have been built all from working with local MSMEs. So if they were imported, these facility cumulatively could have easily costed about 500 to 600 crores. Our total expenditure may be about 20 crores in creating all of this, only working with mostly MSME and local industries, or even helping them develop some of this, or even say developing new processes for patterning without masks over large area, creating nanomaterials or patterns of 100 by 200 nanometer without masks. So this we can use for electrical propulsion to SARS based plasmonic sensors, plasmonic solar cells, and many such technology. So just to say, wide range of products and process equipments have been developed, and characterization tools. So using the facility and whatever limited money we had, and so these are, as I said, just examples of all. And material processing, material testing, environment testing. Many of these facilities were all made locally, working with local companies. For so lack of time, I'm not going. And plus, students also practice everything from day one, so that they actually learn to. They do a system and design thinking, and in entrepreneurship and innovation courses in the very first year of their program, and start doing skill courses in the first and second year. Based on that, in higher semesters, they do project-based multidisciplinary activity, so that they go beyond a competent technician to actually a researcher who can act, or a scientist or an innovator or an analyst. So whether it is working on IoT, so they wide range of experience of every aspect of technology. And so even if they're doing a drilling milling activity, we also add sensors into it. Energy dynamometer and tachometer, so that you can optimize the process for even an MSME on production. So therefore, these are just saying how, so it's win-win for all. Even environment management or campus management, linking high performance computing, IoT, and all this, or developing new materials for sensors. Or even via virtual reality based practicing of carrying out surgery. So today, this equipment can deliver what is earlier available, imported about 2 crores, can be done in 20 lakhs. So this is just to say that whatever the domain, if we can put experiential learning into education system, work with local MSMEs, many things can happen. And so these are again, say, all feasibility done with working with local companies and grants from them. Our investment might have been very minimal. And for example, looking at just some, say moss growth on waste coal, we created a whole reactor for 50 liters to extract biofuels out of waste coal. And my companies like GE have come and worked with us on small scale biomass gasifiers. So, or again using cutting edge thermo EMF materials to have smokeless chulas. So all of them have huge amount of technology coming in, and many of them, as I said, growth characterization, or even working in areas like vacuum nanoelectronics or simple electrical measurements. These are company, a Ambala-based company whom we have used to create probe stations and again automate measurement, do measurement with varying temperature. Earlier, if I had to buy such an integrated probe station from a company like Keithley or now Agilent, we had to shell out something like 40-50 lakhs. Now this basic probe station with a vacuum check and all that simply can come with 1.5 lakhs. With heating stage, you could create along with a 5.5 digit multimeter in say 3 or 4 lakhs. Or you want to automate it, you spend 1 more lakh. So we made sure that even a second year, first year student do nanomaterial sensors and also characterize them within their first and second year programs so that that can lead to product process solution. Or even advanced nanoelectronic measurements or work function measurements, field emission measurements or next generation terahertz type device measurement. The whole equipment and rigged up with working with a local company here in Delhi, Omicron, and we just brought components and created the associated electronic. If we were to buy something from a company like Tokyo Cathode to do an electron emission measurement, 10 to 15 crores is the cost. This equipment cumulatively, which can still generate at least -7 vacuum consistently, and we have 2 chambers, so we could even alternately shift between chambers, is about 45 lakhs. And similarly, if you want to do similar measurement over large area, this is an equipment with a camera, and you can even position an array of sensors can be measured. And all this can be done locally, or even when you want to measure nanomaterials, say these at nano dimension, look at electrical, optical, optoelectronic surface, morphology, compositional property. So we sort of work with a local company and of course integrated some parts from outside and software. So it simultaneously does electrical, electronic, optoelectronic, structural, morphological properties, all with a 1.2 crore equipment. Otherwise, if we bought independently, would have costed about maybe 10 to 12 crores. So these are some of those images from that system. And we again are working with many companies, including this startup company who have developed an AFM. So whether it's biological application to electronics application, or tomorrow, as I said, again, work function to even atomic probing of surfaces, we can do that. This is a Bangalore-based company. So we have worked with many such small companies to do many things. These are name of some of the companies which we have worked, and we work with many more. Just I haven't been able to add the names. So, but the key point I want to convey, because I've already crossed 15 minutes, is that we have put a simple philosophy that the education methodology should make sure that the pedagogy, make sure there is a 5 eyes, like the Pancha Indriyas, the information, inquiry, innovation, implementation, and impact process is ensuring the pedagogy. And you should more importantly have an assessment matrix which assesses the 10 C's, where you know that actually sort of the assessment happens, and assessment not for, by hearting, but formative assessment. At every stage assess and through project-based activities so that you understand actually the learning is happening. The student knows next time what to do. And so we hope in next 2 years, we will not have any summative examples for parrots, but truly working examples. And across the globe, we think when people, and everything is today multidisciplinary, people from diverse domains work together. Initially, it's always cacophony and confusion. But over a period of time, I think you will always find that the diverse team can always deliver better. And this is from Conferry, the data. So all I want to say as I conclude, sorry, it's already 17.5 minutes, is that metrology is a very key requirement if this nation seriously wants to get into advanced manufacturing. And for that to happen, education, industry, academia, all of them, R&D have to come together and start seriously working. इसमें मतलब ये कोई इसमें caste system करके हम बहुत बड़ा है, तो we are all useless because internationally we don't do anything. इसमें मैं बड़ा मतलब caste system जैसे एक मैं बहुत बड़ा institute का हूँ, ये छोटे institute के करते रहेंगे तो हम कभी आगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे. So if anything has limit us, it's only our imagination. Otherwise, it's truly sky is the limit for our opportunity. As whole the world is looking at India as a global leader. Thank you very much. We'll be happy to discuss on any issue independently in detail.
So it was really very illuminating talk and very, very knowledgeable talk is given. I invite some questions from the audience.
My question, when India will develop first X-ray detectometer?
I think It's a question of who is willing to put at least that bare minimum money. See, the thing is, as I said, electron emitter or even a probe station, which if imported costs 10 crores. If we just got a 1 crore project with private institutions, we don't get projects. But thankfully, we got a few companies to come together, and when we got a 1.5 crore project, we could make a 50 lakh equipment which can do 95% of what that can be done. Similarly, when the company gave us some CSR, we put our own money, we created a whole semiconductor facility. It's right from material design to devices, circuit to integrated circuit fabrication, but not the conventional large area flexible integration. IASC and others, what they have created in 1,000, 2,000 crores, we have done it in 15 crores. What they have done in 10, 15 years, we have done in 1.5 years with local people. So therefore, I think it's always a question of will to do. I mean, and if people come together, I think it's all time is not an issue. It's only mindset change that is needed.
Do you think this new education policy will change the scene?
हमें बदलना पड़ेगा. Our education policy was always good. हम ही खुद को धोखा दे रहे थे. मतलब वे बीन देयर जस्ट लिटिस के चेक कर लिए, सब कुछ कर लिए, काम हुआ कि नहीं चेकलिस्ट करते गए. लेकिन अब हम खुद ही बदलेंगे तो अब पहले पुराना भी अच्छा था, अभी भी अच्छा. But it gives far more. It is like say, initially when it first came, the new education policy was like a wonderful menu card without a recipe and without the idea of where are the ingredients. Now slowly some idea of some recipe has happened, but all the ingredients are still not clear. But we believe we can do that, and it's modular, and anybody in any institute, you don't have to be, because again, sorry, no disrespect to all of our IIT, IISc, international ranking में हम 1000 के मतलब logarithm scale डालेंगे, वो भी 200 से ऊपर नहीं है, तो सारे इधर नीचे ही लगते हैं, बाकी तो ऊपर हो जाता है. So we are all in the baseline only. So any of us can come together. We need to seriously work, and therefore hopefully it helps. Maybe if it helps us create a change of mindset, it will definitely help. Thank you.
There is no question. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. It's really wonderful. In 2 years, you have achieved a lot. Bhubaneswar is
No, sorry. Yeah, 2 years also we have done many things in a new university, but some of them are over the last 10 years.
Bhubaneswar is a very upcoming education hub. Government is investing, focusing on semiconductor hub. So, do you think that the laboratory developed research within India is going to use for that mission, or?
No, it is a question of who are the policy planners and who is deciding. Sorry for my statement. For example, the new semiconductor policy came. The government of India said we are going to invest $10 billion over the next 10 years. उसके 2 हफ्ते के अंदर Intel, TSMC, global semiconductors, who are within the top 2 to 3, 4. For this year and next year, they only invested $50 billion. An advanced company for 2 years are investing $50 billion. The government says 10 years we are going to do semiconductor and display. हमें दोनों का आज इंजीनियरिंग में कहीं भी फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, मैकेनिकल इंस्ट्रूमेंटेशन इसके नामों निशाने आईआईटी में नहीं पढ़ाते हैं. Most of the technology, it's not even word नहीं. अभी तक मतलब IIT के प्रोफेसर 210 का मतलब imported book का मतलब modified version 2022 में लिख रहे हैं, without adding any of the new devices that are already part of semiconductor technology. And many professors do not know there is something called an international roadmap for devices and systems. IEEE में free है, open है. I mean, I don't see anybody teaching about it. Every aspect of material, device, technology, software, hardware is written there. What is going to happen? I mean, nothing stops us from working. So it's, as I said, it's a question about mindset. Policy हो या ना हो, जैसे semiconductor software opportunity हो लोग कर लिए, तो हमें आपस में मिलकर करना पड़ेगा. Policy हमारा
policy and lab parity will be always there.
Thanks once again for the opportunity. Thank you very much.
The last talk of this session is from the group. I invite the few people to give the presentation.
Good afternoon to all of you, and I'm very well thankful to NPL staff to give us opportunity to talk about our world's fastest digitizing data reference multimeter. In this category, we have two models available with us. First is 8588A model, that is a reference multimeter, and other one is 8558A industrial grade data digital multimeter. In this category, means most of the people are available from metrology background, so we will discuss about the reference multimeter, not about the industrial grade multimeter. If you're talking about the technology, what we have added here, earlier also we have 8.5 multimeter. The model number was 8508A. In that we were using A to D converter that was charge balance. In that we can do measurements very correctly, but it was taking a lot of time to take the signals from the source. In that it was taking around means 20 seconds to read the readings of AC signal, DC signals from the source. But in this new technology, new multimeter, we have added one more A to D converter, that is SAR, sequential approximation register, designed with the 18-bit of resolution. In that we can directly take the more readings in a very short period of time. In that we can directly get 5 millions of samples per second. In digitizing mode, if you talk about the direct measurement, we have means our new multimeter is 100 times faster than the earlier model because of we have added one SAR register here. In this we can see directly, if you take one example here, in our earlier model, we are taking 2 seconds to read one signal in 7.5 digit display, but in our new model, we can directly read 58 readings in 1 second. That means our new multimeter is about 100 times better, faster than that earlier. And additionally, we have not compromised with accuracy. In coming slides, we will discuss about what we have added in our new multimeter and what is the scan rate of that multimeter. This example is taken directly in DC and AC measurement mode. If we talk about the digitizing mode, there is a one special design that we have had in our new multimeter, that is digitizing mode. In this mode, we can get 5 megasamples in 1 second. This is very innovative idea in our new multimeter. In that we can directly get the samples, that much of samples in our internal memory, and we can store it, and we can analysis within the instrument display, as well as we can directly catch this data and fed to the resolver in our computer and analysis further. In added this technology, there are some key features of our multimeter. In our DC, if talking about the DC voltage measurement, we have directly 3.5 ppm of accuracy at 99% of confidence level. When we talk about at 95% of confidence level, our specs looks like 2.7 ppm in DC measurement. And again, if we're talking about the reading rate, we can read one reading in 1 second in 8.5 digit display. Along with this, we have best class AC accuracy and speed also in AC measurement. And if talking about the digitizing mode, we can get 5 megasamples in 1 second up to 20 megahertz bandwidth. If we are talking about the other key features, we can communicate with the instruments with the Ethernet port, USB port, GPIO port also, and the instrument is capable with SCPI commands also. And we have visual connection also. In earlier model, we don't have the visual connection. There were more chances to get damage the instruments by the users because of wrong connections. But in new model, we have backlight key connections or terminals In that there is a very less chances that user get damaged the instruments because of silly mistakes. And we have color EUI display also, in that we can directly analysis the signal captured here, and we can see the histogram statics also within the instrument display. And if we are talking about the specification of multimeter, we have I have captured 1 year specification in relative and absolute also. Absolute I have taken in blue color, and you can just have a look. Means relative specifications in black color. I have captured specification for DC voltage, AC voltage, resistance, DC current, AC current, frequency, temperature, and capacitance measurement. If you are talking about the measurement functions, we have more than 12 measurement functions available in this particular model. In earlier model, we have only limited parameters like AC voltage, DC current, AC current, and resistance. But when we talk about our multifunction calibrator, that is able to deliver lot of parameters. If you want to verify this multifunction calibrator, our new multimeter is very much capable for doing that one. In that we have a DC voltage measurement capability up to 1000 volt, AC voltage also same range up to 1000 volt with a high frequency, and resistance measurement is also there. We can do the measurements of DC current and AC current up to 30 ampere. Earlier model have up to 20 amperes only. And we have digitizing mode also for voltage and current. In that we can directly get the more data in a very short period of time. And frequency measurement also added here. We have frequency measurements for voltage, current, and directly BNC input is also available backside of the instrument. And temperature measurement is also available. Capacitance measurement also we have added up to 100 millifarad. RF measurement is available with RNS sensor. And if customer want to measure current more than the 30 ampere, then we have current shunt available with us, so that current can be improved up to 100 ampere directly without introducing another instruments. Only means our A40B shunt is capable to bear that type of current. We are talking about means all parameters are related to our multifunction calibrator. If user want to just verify our multifunction calibrator, then single instrument 8588A is capable to do that job. We are talking about one more new technology. In earlier we were using directly mean filter to get the true RMS value, but in new technology we have directly added some AC A to D converter that sampled RMS calculations. In short, we can say in earlier model we are just taking one maximum value and calculating the RMS value there for AC measurements. But in new technology we are taking number of readings here and calculating the AC signals RMS. In that means in this, because of this new technology, we have increased the accuracy of the instrument as well as the linearity of the instruments. In coming slides, you can see how we have improved AC voltage and other parameters also. You can see new indicates that our new multimeter 8588A, in that DC voltage also we have made small improvement, and you can see AC voltage we have improved a lot because we have added one this A to D converter here. And resistance measurement also we are very equal to earlier model. We have not compromised anyway in specification. And the DC current and AC current we have improved a lot in specification as well as the range also. In if we are talking about the range, we have improved up to 30 ampere. And if talking about the accuracy, we have improved from 8 ppm to 6.5 ppm in DC current. Similarly, in the AC current also, it is similarly is very similar to the specification, but we have improved the resolution here. Earlier model has up to 6.5 digit display in earlier model, and we have improved it to 7.5 in AC measurement, AC voltage measurement. And we have added the frequency measurement here, and accuracy of that is 0.5 ppm. And temperature simulation is also available. We means accuracy of this new multimeter is 5 milli K in temperature measurement, and capacitance also we have
appropriate measurement uncertainty that will cover our multifunction calibrator specification. There is a core comparison about our new multimeter and earlier one. Earlier that I have already told you that we have limited parameters here, but in new models we have added lot of parameters and improved the accuracy also. In earlier model we don't have the frequency measurement. Now we have added up to 100 megahertz frequency measurement, and temperature measurement is also available that is capable to cover our multifunction calibrator verification in thermocouple and RDD both. And capacitance are also not available in earlier model. We have means new model we have 1 nano to 100 millifarad of capacitance measurement, and in this measurement means new multimeter we have improved current also up to 30 ampere for AC and DC both. Of course, we have improved the specification also that I have already covered in a previous slide. Application wise, if customer want to verify scope option of our multifunction calibrator, that is 100% possible in our new multimeter. We can directly fetch data in our new multimeter and analysis in a further within the instrument display and in a computer display also by fetching the data from meter to in our PC. Service and support. We have service and support available within India. We have our service center within in Bangalore, Mumbai, and Delhi also. And we have care plan or for and extended warranty also. If customer want to add that one while ordering, means the customer is free to order that one and enjoy the free means extended warranty there. We have gold and silver care plan also. That is also something called extended warranty only. Calibration adjustment. In earlier model, we have to adjust the multimeter for 163 points. That was taking around 6 hours. And in new multimeters, we have to adjust the multimeter for 60 points only. That is taking comparatively very less time. What is adjustment basically? When we use the instruments over a period of time, there may be some drift. To eliminate that type of drift, we have to make the adjustment in that multimeter. That is very fast in new multimeter, and we have to do adjustment in 60 points only. That takes very less time compared to our earlier model. For adjustment of the multimeter, we have to just keep these instruments ready, and after adjustment of the reference one, and by using that one, we can adjust the instruments and use the instruments for the further calibration. To summarize all this presentation, I have just a small video. I just want to play it. I think it is difficult to play. I don't know how to play this video in this laptop. Can you just help me? For the surprises. वीडियो इसमें है, पीपीटी में है, इसी में है. Now we have multimeter also available in our shop stall. You can just, I sincerely request to you to visit in our stall and have a look in our stall basically. Questions, please.
There is no question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
It was very good talk, informative presentation. In this session, actually, we had 4 talks, 2 online and 2 offline. So I thank you all the speakers giving the very good presentation, and all the audience are benefited with the presentations. So now I hand over the mic to the managers.
I thank to all the speakers for such informative presentations and talk. Now I would request Chairperson of the session, Dr. KP Chaudhary, to felicitate Professor V.S. Satyanarayan with a memento. Thank you, sir. I would request Dr. KP Chaudhary to felicitate Mr. Balram with a memento. Thank you, sir. Now I would request Dr. Sanjay Yadav, sir, to felicitate the chairperson and co-chair of the session with a token of remembrance.
My pleasure, sir. My honor. लोग बोल रहे दोनों खेकड़े वाले
Now you are all invited for tea in Dr. A.R. Verma lawns. We will gather back for the last technical session of today after 15 minutes at 4:10 p.m.